Hello, it's me again. Jill, remember? From the GMP at RMC video. I hope you enjoyed it and understood why GMP is such an important part of RMC's activities. If you haven't seen it, have a word with the microbiology department. It's well worth a watch, and I'm not just saying that because I was in it. Well, this time I'm looking at cleaning and sanitisation procedures. Now, although GMP at RMC was an excellent video, the people behind the camera were a bit, how can I put it, a bunch of creative lovies? If I said that the director's name was Peregrine and he kept calling everyone darling and wore a pink fleece, you'd get where I was coming from. So, what I thought this time was that some of my RMC colleagues would make the video. Clever, eh? Hi everyone! Now, you're probably all wondering why you're here today.
Homewash?
No.
Day off?
No.
New product?
No.
Sack?
And definitely no. I want you to make a video.
Video. What about?
Cleaning and sanitisation procedures here at RMC.
Hey, wonderful.
Cleaning and sanitising?
Yeah, I want you to each make a short video showing the procedures that we use here at RMC.
Procedures?
Yes. Any questions?
Yeah.
That's great. You've got 2 weeks. Good luck.
Procedures?
Okay, let's make movies.
Lights?
Camera.
Procedures?
Action!
Here we are, the premiere of 4 exciting films on cleaning and sanitisation procedures, written, directed and produced by our own RMC Film Productions. First up is For Your Sanitise Only by Can You Believe It?
The name is Believe It. Can you believe it? Before any sanitisation can take place, all products must be removed from pipework and vessels, or whatever.
Good start.
You don't have to be too thorough. There's a little bit of lotion left in the pipework, never hurt anyone.
Spoke too soon.
The quickest way to do this is by opening this valve and letting all the lotion out. You can also open this valve, but it's a bit of a waste of time as we never really get any lotion left in the pipework.
What?
You can tell when everything's empty. You can see water in the thingy. I'm sure it's gone through. And then next, just fill up the header tank with water.
Hot water, Ken. Fill it with hot water.
It's as simple as that. The name's Believe It. Can you believe it? 00 trouble, licensed flush.
Well, that was interesting. Not quite correct, but well, let's have a look at this one, called I Can't Get No Sanitisation by Ivan No Clue.
Welcome to I Can't Get No Sanitisation. I'm here to show you the correct procedure how to sanitise. Is that alright? No, was that alright? Well, we've got 2 types of sanitising fluid here. One's Lego 99, 98, I don't know. And this one, Sommy something. Anyway, it don't really matter what you use here, because it both does the same job. And all you do is you throw a bit in the bucket. Don't really matter how much you use, it doesn't really matter really, no matter what you're doing with it. We use a dosing unit, like this one, spray these vessels. It's all automatic, and we spray inside, and the percentages is all worked out inside here, so no worries. Once you put this stuff in the vessel, it doesn't really matter how long you leave it. You can either go for a cup of tea or read your paper. Now me myself, I'm going to read my paper and have a look at page 3. Cut. Oh. So what do you expect, Jurassic Park?
Not quite what I expected, but still a good, let's see what Luke I Do It My Way has to offer with his production of The Sheets of No Return. The what?
Hi, Luke here. Record keeping and filling in record sheets is a very important procedure here at RMC,
Nice one, Luke.
so it's imperative that you fill in the paperwork correctly.
Oh, this is much better.
Every box needs to be filled in, and all the details, no matter how insignificant they may appear, must be recorded.
Luke, you're a star.
Correctly filled out paperwork ensures that Gillette remains the top manufacturer in the world. Isn't that something to be proud of? Thanks for watching.
Oh, I think I'm in love.
Hello, Luke.
Oh, all right.
What are you up to?
I'm doing one of these cleaning and sanitising videos.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a couple of hours off work, isn't it? Anyway, what do you want?
You haven't filled out your sanitisation record sheets yet for AM1.
I hate filling out these things.
Luke!
Right, get it here. Let's have a look. Right, what date was it?
10th.
Okay. Right, tick that, tick that. Oh, what sanitiser did I use?
Well, I don't know, you did the job.
Tego 2001, that's the best. Right, tick that. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is.
No, Luke, no.
That's all right. Not sure about that. There you go.
Cheers. How long have you been known as M-Mouse?
That's my alias, isn't it? Don't worry, nobody checks. Anyway, I was Spartacus last week.
No, I'm Spartacus. Anyway, thanks for that, and realise your camera's still rolling.
Oh, quick, turn it off.
Oh, what a disappointment. One left. Have we saved the best for last? I hope so. Okay, finally we have Sanitisation Jones and the Silo of Gunk. Written, directed and starring Philip Up and Leave It. Oh dear.
Water. You drink it, fish make love in it. We use it in our cleaning and sanitisation procedure because, well, it's water.
Oh my God, what's he doing?
The final rinse. We use hot water in our final rinse. And when I say hot, I mean...
Over 80 degrees centigrade?
We use hot water because it's hot and, well, cold water isn't. But water can also be evil. What?
Oh, where are my headache pills?
Water left in pipes and vessels to stagnate can contaminate the whole system here at RMC. Bacteria will grow in ferocity and rise up and infest our working environment. We'll be powerless to stop them.
What?
Soon we'll be at the mercy of contaminants. Our very lives will be threatened. There is no escape.
I don't believe
Only
it. What a disaster. There is only one thing to do. Hello?
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm fine. Look, I think I might have a job for you.
Oh, really?
Darling?
Hi Jill, ready to see proper cleaning and sanitising procedures in action?
I certainly am.
Before we start, here's a basic breakdown of the sequence of procedures.
We start with the first rinse. This is designed to clean our equipment and ensure that the whole system is free of any product.
Only then can we start the sanitisation procedure. That's the second stage in our flowchart, but we'll talk more about that later.
After sanitisation, the third stage is the final rinse. We do this with hot water, but as John said, we'll talk more about that later.
And finally, there's rinse water analysing.
That's the overall sequence, but there are other procedures such as record keeping and environmental cleaning, and we'll mention them because they're important too.
There are a set of cleaning and sanitisation instructions available on BMS, and these will give you the specific details for each set of filling lines and vessels that we've got here at RMC.
Oh, I remember BMS from the GMP at RMC video. Stands for Business Management System, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Enough of the theory, let's see the procedures in action.
Starting with the first rinse.
Before any sanitisation can take place, all the product has to be removed from vessels and associated pipework, plus anywhere else that it may have got into. It's most important to include sample points, filters and under lids, as these can often get missed. We do this by using first rinse. Ancillary equipment like buckets, scoops and hoses should also be cleaned properly.
Could you explain first rinse, John?
Yes, where we use water in appropriate temperature to flush out the entire system, from mixing room storage vessels over to our header tank, and then finally onto our nozzles here.
Okay, what's next?
Next, Jill, is sanitisation. Here at RMC, we operate a rotational policy using Simplex ComBS and Tego 2001. which we alternate each time a sanitisation takes place.
How do you know which one to use?
It's indicated on a record sheet like this one. In this case it's Tego 2001, but both agents sanitise to the required standard, but they're different and need to be treated accordingly. When handling any of these fluids, it's important that you wear the correct PPE, such as gloves and eye protection. Firstly, sanitising fluid and water is drawn into the vessel to sanitise the base of the vessel and pipework. A dosing unit is then used to mix a spray for the top surfaces of the vessel. Calibration of the dosing unit is checked monthly. This is done by the micro lab testing a sample of fluid to confirm the correct percentage mix is accurate at 1%. Once the sanitisation fluid has been fed into the vessel, be sure to give it the correct contact time. In the case of Simplex from BS, it's 20 minutes. In the case of Tego 2001, it's 5 minutes. But once again, the length of time for each required agent is indicated on the record sheets.
This also applies in the filling system, as indicated here.
Does this matter?
Yes, it does, because taking the agent out before its recommended time will render it ineffective.
Don't forget to mention about the alternatives to chemical sanitisation, Steve.
Oh yes, you can use heat. Subjecting the system to water heated to 80 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes will work, but you have to be able to prove by validation that you can maintain that temperature for that length of time in the coldest parts of the system.
Stage 3, if you remember on our flowchart, was final rinse. We need to remove the sanitising agent from our equipment, and we do this by flushing it with hot water at 80 degrees centigrade.
Why is that, John?
But basically, cold water has the potential to reintroduce bacteria into the system, so it needs to be this temperature to ensure that bacterial growth is kept to a minimum.
Another important consideration is that all water must be removed from vessels and pipework after use to stop the water becoming stagnant.
And I've seen what can grow in stagnant water and how that affects the product. It's not a pretty sight.
Exactly, that's an ideal breeding ground for bacteria.
How can you ensure that there's no build-up of stagnant water?
By taking precautions. We use methods such as opening drain bounds, removing filter baskets, just to make sure that all the water is out of the system. Product has to be pumped into the system within 8 hours of final rinse.
The last stage on the flowchart was rinse water analysis.
So why do you have to carry that out?
We carry out an immediate analysis on a sample from the final rinse to give us an indication that any potential contamination has been kept down to acceptable levels. And we prepare a test for the microbiology lab to check that this has been achieved.
And that brings us to the end of the sequence on the flowchart.
It does, Jill, but as you mentioned in your last video, records must be complete, accurate and permanent. The whole purpose of keeping records is to provide a history of the process for both internal and legal reasons.
That's right. Very important point.
So that's why all record sheets must be completed as required. They should provide a record of first rinse, sanitisation and final rinse for each part of the system. They should also show the correct contact time. And to be completely accurate, they should be filled in at the same time as each stage is completed and every box filled in. The sheets must be filled in using black ink, must be legible and signed for using an authorised signature. And I for one know that there is no M-Mouse or S-Particus working on the RMC site. Oh, and one other thing, try to keep the sheets clean. Which one would you rather receive, Jill? One like that? Or one like that?
I think you best wash your hands when you've finished. But before we all go, how do we keep track of all these procedures? I did hear something about validation. What's that?
Validation of cleaning and sanitisation procedures is quite simple. It sets out to provide documented data to show that all procedures are achieving the desired results.
It aims to ensure that all the cleaning and sanitisation carried out here at RMC is correct and effective.
This may involve a microbiologist to check that the process is working.
And what would they do?
Would they check inside vessels and pipes for any product residue? And then they would take a swab after sanitising and make sure that bacteria isn't present.
They would do a similar procedure after the final rinse as well, carrying out visual tests like opening pipework or looking in the base of a vessel to make sure there is no fluid left.
They're quite thorough then.
Yeah, they gotta be. Contamination's our number one enemy.
Thanks, lads.
Oh, one more thing before you go, Jill. It's not only cleaning and sanitising of lines that needs to be monitored and recorded, but also environmental cleaning. Bins, floors, drains, and make sure there's no accumulation of stagnant water in the manufacturing area.
I can see how important all this is. Thanks again, lads.
No problem. Bye, Jill. God, that's all.
Well, what do you think?
It was alright, I suppose.
I don't know about the water, but the acting was a bit stagnant.
I liked it.
Yeah, you would. You like that Peregrine bloke.
No, I didn't. I just said he was a creative genius.
Creative weirdo, more like. Did you see that pink top he had on?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and more importantly, understood the reasons why correct procedures are needed when cleaning and sanitising. If there's anything that you're not sure about, then just have a chat with a microbiologist. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Bye! Okay lads, calm down, I've got something for you all. The award for the best use of a newspaper in a video goes to Ivor No Clue.